Now, I originally talked about the fact that I was going to position the columns first, but once I started looking at the photographs a little more, I could see that these awnings actually finish, and there's a structural column. There's another one in there, and there's another one in there. But what that means is that if I go and have a look at the Google Maps, I can see these awnings from above, and I can scale them fairly accurately. So if I can scale those accurately in plan, that means I can position these columns. So what I've done is I've duplicated another floor plan, the ground floor plan with image, and I've dragged in what we've got is the Google Maps, and I've scaled it up ready to go. In addition to that, I also brought in a photograph. So this photograph's a really good one. It's good for two reasons. It's front on. So from front on, I can draw a detail line over the top, and I can get a bit of an indication of the pitch of the roof. I'd suggest that in reality that's probably 45 degrees. But in addition to that, if you have a look, you can project straight down. So straight down, come out from here, you can see that's that straight line. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or just under 7 tiles, it would appear. So I'm suggesting that that is probably 2 meters. So we know that the projection's approximately 2 meters, and that that roof pitch is going to be 45 degrees. So popping over here, I am choosing the roof by footprint. I'll move it to roof by pitching point just for the moment. I won't bother choosing that one. I'm just going to draw. Yes. Okay, now it actually looks like between Google Maps and this drawing it's out by a little bit, because if I look back at that first photograph, I can see that it seems to sit right on there. So we may need to adjust it by a few 100 mil. Alright, so I'm going to make that 8 meters. I'm going to remove all of the defined slopes except this one, and it's going to be 45 degrees. So it's going to pitch up from this line. I'm going to need to adjust that in a side elevation. Now, we established earlier that that would be 2 meters out from the wall. Okay, so you can see it's a guideline at best. And if I come back to a east elevation, okay, I should be able to move this down and hopefully make this look about right. Now we need to be able to work out what the height is. So if we pop back to this view, from here it actually looks like the underside of the awning is close to the top side of this door. Now this door is about 2400. You can see there's a woman standing here. That woman is probably, I don't know, 1600 high. So that would mean that 21 is sitting about there. So I'm presuming that that's a 2400 high, and that looks to be 200, 250. So we're looking at 26. I would suggest that that's 2700. So can you see that that was a pretty good guess based on a few things? I could have also used a table. We know the heights of tables are somewhere between 8 and 900, maybe 700 if it's a small one. So perhaps I could have sort of, 1, 2, all right, that's close to sort of just under 3 meters. So again, that works as well. So you use whatever it is you know and have your best guess from there. So knowing that, I might just put a dimension on that. I'm using my tab key just to click on the end and get that dot. All right, it's actually pretty close, isn't it? Make that 2700. All right, which suggests that maybe the parapet isn't quite right. So let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so there's our roof. We know that that's 45, we know that that's 2 meters, so therefore it should be sitting fairly realistically. That would suggest that that is a good meter and a half, good 1500 sitting above there. So for the moment I'm going to adjust that to being 1500 above that point, and then I might see if I can't throw a scale rule. If I put a ruler on that, I might be able to work out what that is a little bit more accurately. Okay, so let's drag this out. I'm just trying to put a dimension there just to help me work that out. Okay, 1500. I shall delete that. Alright, so we're starting to look a little bit more like what we've got going on. So now I've got that first awning. I could put a gutter on that if I wanted to, depends on how much detail, but quite frankly, again, at this point, I really don't need to show much detail. I just sort of want to get the massing of it right. So when we present the drawing to the client, you have a good feel of what's there and what's going to be there. And certainly you want what's going to be there to look a lot more dazzling than what is there now. So as long as it's as accurate as we can make it, we're good to go. Okay, so that roof by pitching point isn't giving us an accurate one. If we go to site, we will be able to see that. And if I pop back to ground floor with image, alright, we've lost that one. Alright, so I'm going to go back into here, into properties. I'm going to change the view range so I can see from above. Alright, I'm just going to go top level, unlimited, and 10 meters should do the job. Okay, so now all I need to do is copy this roof around. Rotate it 345 degrees. Move it. Adjust it. If I go back and refer to the photograph, it doesn't appear to go all the way to the end. I'll see if I've got a better shot of that. I'm sure we have a better shot of that one. Not that one. That's a little bit better, but not much. There we go. Okay, so it's sitting just shy of where it turns back around, so that could be as much as 500. More? No, more. No, maybe even a metre. And there isn't one on the other side. Okay, so can you see that now I can just keep going all the way up the page, and I will then refer back to the photographs. Later on I'll have a look and see how close that was in the photograph to the edge of the column and the pointy bit there. Can edit the photo. Yeah. Alright, I think it's out to that far. It's getting quite blurry and a bit hard to tell. I'll need to double check what's going on in there, and I can continue copying that up the screen.